True Crimers, Partners in Crime. This is week 6, part 2. I can't believe it's week 6 already. And here we are talking about the Sebastian Rogers case. And I am so sorry about my lighting, but I am in my car because I have a house full right now and I have nowhere to make this video that's quiet. But it kind of goes with the vibe, right? Can we go with that? I hope so. I need to give my disclosure, as I do in every video, that this is for entertainment purposes only. This is just my thoughts, my opinions, my speculation, not facts. Please form your own opinions, and let's get into it. So we left off in part 1 talking about the beginning. I went back to the beginning this week, listening to all the first interviews, the first news reports, and we were talking about how they didn't want to be, the Proudfoots, CP and KP didn't want to be on the media at first. Law enforcement actually announced that. They did the weird interview with the hands, and they didn't want their name released, rumor has it. So that's where we left off. We also were talking about how I think that law enforcement definitely never looked at this in the beginning like a crime. That they definitely just believed that an autistic boy ran away. And I think it's a huge clue that law enforcement never alerted to a safety issue. You know, if there had been a crime, well, they haven't found Sebastian, they haven't caught the perpetrator. So that, as a parent, I would be nervous. Well, if I had kids, what if they go missing? And I think I did hear neighbors with that concern. And law enforcement just never said that there was anything to be nervous about. So, and that also leads you to the landfill. You have to get a judge to sign off on that. So you have to have probable cause. What were they looking for in that landfill? The search for Quentin Simon took weeks upon weeks. And they were successful. So it's so interesting and perplexing on why they did the search to begin with, what their reasoning was, and why was it so fast. I know that he said they didn't find what they were looking for, which tells me that they were not looking for Sebastian, because then it would be awful for him to say, unfortunately, we didn't find what we were looking for, because why would they want to find him there? So it must have been items, right, that they were looking for and they really wanted to find. And then that brings me to the 3 a.m. flashlight video. What a controversial subject, right? I believe it was flashlights. I never believed it was a trash truck. I don't even think that's possible. And I think it's really interesting that of all the things Sebastian would take, not the shoes, not the jacket, not a cell phone or his switch, but he took a flashlight, a little mini fidget flashlight. And I thought it was extra interesting that the parents knew he took it. I just think if they had something to do with it and they knew that flashlights might have been caught on camera, it was a good way to explain it, like get ahead of that, right? That's what I believe. What are the chances that we have the flashlight video, a unidentified car in the area, and Sebastian going missing that night, the same night that all that was happening, and it doesn't have to do with one another? I just don't believe in that much of a coincidence. Also, that he was never seen on any cameras, no scent by any dogs. I think they had 5 dogs. Nobody picked up a scent. And KP just did an interview and she was talking about how the FBI knew it was definitely Sebastian that took the trash out that night. They analyzed and it was like his mannerisms and stuff, so they could definitely tell it was Sebastian. If that's the case, then if he left out the front door, which apparently is the only door he could leave from, that same camera would have caught him, right? So in my opinion, it's very, very likely that he was carried out in a car. Well, carried out and then put in a car. Remember, this is all my speculation. not a fact. Also, so we go to the day before, his crazy busy day. Spaghetti pancakes, the colossal popcorn, all these details, these unnecessary details. And every expert says that when someone is lying, they will use these extra details that aren't necessary. Because if my child, think about it, if your child's missing, you're just not going to care about, oh, well, my son had this colossal popcorn. No, you're going to be like, my son is missing. The day before we did this, and that. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I need help to find him. Like, you're not caring about going into these fantastic details of the spaghetti pancakes and we called family, because like, it's not going to go like that. It's going to be like, high alert, I am desperate, find my child. And this is experts that I've heard say that. And I've been listening to a lot of panels of experts that I had never heard before from the beginning. And every single expert said that the stepfather and mother know more than they're saying, that they are lying in one way or the other, that they are not telling the truth, and they know more than they are saying. Every single one across the board. So, I don't know. All the experts say it. We think it. And a huge question that I have always had about that day before, that busy day, that awesome day, was that a typical thing? Did they do that often? Do all of those things? Or would that be just a coincidence that the day before he went missing, he had this magical day? Or was that a typical thing to do on the weekends? All of those things. I really would like to know that. I would love to know that. Also, the 3-hour phone call that they had, was that a common thing? Or was that just happened to be that night before? Oh, gosh, I would love to know that information. Oh, yeah. And I forgot, when I'm talking about in the beginning, the interviews, when they finally did do their, like, first interviews, like, when they were really starting to get out to media, they went on, like, YouTube. And not that YouTube is bad, right? But as a parent, you'd want to go to the biggest networks, the networks that are going to reach the most people. And then you trickle down, right? That's not what happened. Another big thing I'd love to have the answer to is the Proudfoots had $15,000 to pay for their PI. Their PI that really spent a lot of time on social media trying to, I don't know, change our opinions, change our mind, defend the Proudfoots. I think he did that more than he did any searching. I know there was some searching, but he spent a lot of time defending the Proudfoots. So $15,000, but not one dime was ever offered up for a reward. I know that a little bit of money went to like a billboard in the beginning, but you'd think that $15,000 would be like, take everything I have. I will mortgage my house. I will do anything. Just find my baby. So I'm going to go over to a quick part 3. It's going to be fast. And I hope to see you guys over there. Just real quick. The lighting's so bad. I'm so sorry. See you over there.